important has this film been in your filmography so far?
It's been one of my most, I would say, critical points in my career. It was a path that was very important to me from the get go, the kind of dialogue that Nikhil Masale and his team had written, the kind of a platform that I got with this, very sassy and a very understated and a sexy part, which they had written for Bela Barot. Uh, I really loved it. She was so unconventional and
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, you have acted with some big names from Marathi cinema in this film. Subodh Bhave is one, and then your partner in the film, Chinmay Mandlekar.
It was such a fun experience being on set with such incredible actors, who have such a wonderful sense of humor on their own. I had a really wonderful time working with. Well, as a girl, it really worries me because, as Nimrat Kaur, I too operate as a girl and as an actor and as a known personality. So it's multi-layered, so because what happens is that you just worry about that one time the cameras are on somewhere and it just takes a phone, to
Hmm.
capture something somewhere which you could just be saying or doing in a very different context and how it's received and how it's meant for any and everyone to consume.
Welcome to Bollywood Hungama. I am Keyur. Today we have with us the talented and beautiful Nimrat Kaur. Hello Nimrat, welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Hi, thank you so much. Thanks,
Yeah,
Keyur.
thanks. So how are you? How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thanks. Just trying innovative ways to beat the heat.
Oh, same here. We all are.
Yeah.
So you must be feeling great because your highly acclaimed film Sajini Shinde Ka Viral video will now be premiering on and explore.
Yes.
So how does it feel now to know that more people will have access to your film?
Excellent. Honestly, I've been waiting for this for a very long time because a huge part of India still watches, television and
Hmm.
content on television. So I was really waiting for
Hmm.
this because it is a kind of film that should go out on every kind of platform to as many people as possible because of the subject, because of the handling. It's a family film. So all the reasons that I've just said and more, and I've just been waiting for it to come out on television. So very excited for it.
And how important has this film been in your filmography so far?
It's been one of my most, I would say, critical points in my career because not every day do you get to essay a part which is author backed and something that you're playing not just a reactive participant in. You are somebody who's kind of driving the story, you are taking it from point A to Z. And it was a path that was very important to me from the get go, the kind of dialogue that Nikhil Masale and his team had written, the kind of a platform that I got with this, very sassy and a very understated and a sexy part, which they had written for Bela Barot. Uh, I really loved it. She was so unconventional and
Yeah.
cool, and not somebody who was trying to act cool just because she was a cop.
Hmm.
So that for me is a very sort of a refreshing take on a police officer. It's kind of like an underdog. She's not perfect at everything. Very very interesting mix there.
I'm glad you mentioned about that because I was about to ask you, like, you played an investigative officer, but she had that certain amount of sarcasm in whatever she used to say, especially in your scenes with Subodh Bhave. So,
Yeah.
how was your preparation like, and were there any inputs from your side to how she would behave?
Well, firstly, an actor is honestly as good as your material and the handling and the director and how the platform you get is what you can build on. So the platform I got was rock solid here. I really didn't have to do a lot. I just had to be, and I just had to um, make the dialogue as felt and just relaxed. Because when you
Hmm.
get certain lines, you feel like throwing them in a certain way or projecting them in a certain way. So for Bela Barot's lines, I knew that, okay, what she's saying has so much weight that the less heavy I am in my projection and all of that,
Hmm.
the lighter and more effective it will be. And the
Okay.
sarcasm and those kind of lines, in any case, they are best said under your breath, almost as if,
Hmm.
huh, what did she say that? Did she actually? What did she say? Did I actually catch
Yeah.
that? So I really had a great time, and with Subodh Bhave's sir, so matlab, it was such a treat to just watch him. I remember the first time we were on set, I was watching that scene, where he's doing his monologue on stage,
Yeah.
and I was having a very hard time staying in character because I just wanted to clap and
Hmm.
uh, just as a fangirl, just watch him perform there. I had a wonderful time doing all our scenes together. Really, really fun.
Yeah, you have acted with some big names from Marathi cinema in this film. Subodh Bhave is one, and then your partner in the film, Chinmay Mandlekar, he is also a very well-known actor. So, what
Absolutely.
did you guys speak when you were not shooting? Did they speak about their industry, how they work, and everything?
Lots about that, lots about food.
Oh,
Pune is like we shot most of the film actually. Yeah,
yeah.
all of the film in Pune. Yeah, we did.
Mm.
So this was last year in September, October is when we shot. No, last to last year, in fact.
Okay.
So it was such a fun experience being on set with such incredible actors, who have such a wonderful sense of humor on their own anyway.
Okay.
So I used to be in splits, and a lot of the cast was from the Marathi cinema and theater, and
Yeah.
really, really incredible with their presence of mind and with their wit. And
Mm.
we used to discuss anything and everything from gossip to food to
Oh,
yeah. I've worked in the theater. I've done a lot of plays also in Mumbai, so I've
okay.
had the great privilege to be in close contact with a lot of Marathi actors, in fact.
Hmm.
So I've had a wonderful time anytime, I've had the privilege to work with them. So on this project, I mean, there were many others as well that I had a really wonderful time working with.
And the film gives a message on cyberbullying. It also
Yes.
exposes the double standards of society when it comes to women enjoying themselves in a party and all that. So actually, Sajini hasn't committed any crime. She was just enjoying herself.
Yeah.
It was a birthday, but she had to face such terrible consequences. So, what is your personal take on this entire issue as Nimrat Kaur, not as the investigative officer in the film?
Yeah. Well, as a girl, it really worries me because, as Nimrat Kaur, I too operate as a girl and as an actor and as a known personality. So it's multi-layered, so because what happens is that you just worry about that one time the cameras are on somewhere and it just takes a phone, to
Hmm.
capture something somewhere which you could just be saying or doing in a very different context and how it's received and how it's meant for any and everyone to consume. So the strength of social media is also the weakness. So
Hmm.
anything that spreads like wildfire it always comes with an edge.
Hmm.
You can really be misunderstood. You can really be caught at a time where it was a completely private moment meant entirely for you. We've seen so many examples in our day-to-day lives. We don't even have to pick up um, hypothetical examples. We've seen it happen. It's really scary. Actually, it's really worrying because it's not just one person. The consequences for it's for an entire family, your
Hmm.
friends.
True.
People have spouses, kids, lovers. There is a responsibility which everyone must recognize with just forwarding things mindlessly and making it a reality
Hmm.
because it's coming from 10 other people and you are sending it to 10 people.
Hmm.
Um, it it just becomes a reality before anybody knows anything. So that for me is very worrying as a girl, as a citizen, as an actor on every level, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have acted in different type of projects, like you did Adlift, and now this movie Sajini Shinde is usually different from that. You also did the test case. So, what exactly do you have a selection criteria? How do you select projects?
I like to keep trying different things. Actually, I just want
Hmm.
to try all kinds of genres. I want to do all kinds of parts. I want to bring a little bit of myself to everything and leave that behind, and then do the same thing again and again, where you kind of taste different people, different lives,
Hmm.
and then leave it to get into something else. So if
Hmm.
I hear a script and if I want to watch that, and if I feel like, okay, this world is very exciting, it's not something I've played before, and it's something definitely that I would like to portray on screen. Sometimes it's the actors I want to work with, or sometimes it's the script or the director, or all of those things. Um, yeah, I think it's just a question of uh, how you feel. It's almost like I've always said this. It's almost like a first date. When you hear a
Hmm.
script, it's that excitement you feel in your heart and in your tummy. And you're like, okay, I wanna get into this, and I want to know everything about this.
Wow.
So uh, that's what happens. And for everything that I have ended up doing, it's always happened with me, and that's why I've done that. Whether it's a Dasmi or a test case or a
Hmm.
there's something about it which just catches my attention, and then I'm like, okay, this is it.
Okay. And coming to your forthcoming projects, you have Skyforce coming up with Akshay Kumar once again. So, how has it been teaming up with him after the very successful Adlib?
Well, I can't officially talk about a lot of my work as of now.
Hmm.
There is a film that I've done with Mr. Bachchan last year. Uh,
Yeah.
that I'm very excited about. That's up for release. Um, there is a show I've just finished, a series I've just finished, which again, takes me into a very different journey that I've not explored as an actor.
Hmm.
Uh, and I am getting into something as we speak. I'm like in preparation for something new as well right now, which I'm again super thrilled about. What I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of stuff that's coming up,
Yeah.
lined up for release. I'm not in a place to talk about it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I understand.
unfortunately, that's not a call I can make. But I'm very excited for a lot of my work right now that's yet to release. So hopefully, there'll be a new conversation about new paths, that we'll end
Definitely.
up crossing. Yeah.
And like you have done theatrical films also, and you have done a lot of work on OTT as well.
Yeah.
So, do you experience any change while shooting for both the mediums?
I feel like it depends on the project. It's not like you
Hmm.
can uh, put everything under one umbrella. Okay, this is for OTT and this is for films.
Hmm.
I think what happens is that if you have a bigger budget setup, you end up having a little more time to
Hmm.
explore a scene, or to just breathe into it, or bring it to life. You have a little more luxury of time. And if the budgets don't allow it, and if it's constraints like locations or anything else, then you just don't have time, and then you just have to kind of show up, say whatever you're supposed to, do your best, and you're out. So that is the one part that I personally don't enjoy. I don't like it when there's not enough time to explore something,
Hmm.
where you just want to also have the ability or just the luxury to make a mistake and then do it again. Sometimes you're just so tight on time, light is going, the location is going, everything's
Hmm.
falling apart, and you're supposed to do what you're there for, and then not have a second chance at it, because you know what, that was that. So
Hmm.
that is, then I don't like to live with that regret that, oh God, yeah, this is how I wanted to do it. In my head, I wanted to at least try it this way, and then, leave it for the makers to edit or keep or not keep. So sometimes when you're not able to give the options that you have wanted to come with, that is the one thing that I find different, not because of OTT or films, just because of the canvas or the budgets or, the constraints or not.
And now, lastly, your film coming back to Sajini Shinde Ka Viral video.
Yes,
What would you like to tell the audience? I mean, like you said, there are a lot of people who haven't seen the film. What
right.
would be your message to them?
Well, number one, it's a family film. It's a very entertaining subject. It's not something grim or serious and just a message driven movie
Hmm.
or something like that. I mean, the message is very clear, with everything we're putting out. There's no um, suspense about that, but it's a beautiful story which addresses a very important issue. That all of us or people around us, anyone, our neighbors, our relatives, somebody or the other has been affected by. And it is a point of concern all of us have felt. Some with our children, some with our elders, grandparents, or anyone. We've all felt that. It can be something as silly as somebody falling and tripping, and that's played on loop as if it's entertaining.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a funeral or something, where it's almost like a tamasha, where it's turned into something it's not, and the sanctity of a moment is kind of diluted. What I'm trying to say is that it's a film that addresses some really important day-to-day issues, and it is highly entertaining. It's really fun, it's really fast. I really hope and wish that everyone watches it, and you kind of find your own fun, and whatever you want to take from it.
So that's it. It was a nice free flowing chat with you, Nimrat. Yeah, and
Thank you.
we wish you all the best for your upcoming projects, and we
Thank you.
hope more and more people see Sajini Shinde Ka Viral video.
Yes,
So yeah,
absolutely.
thanks for talking to us, and
Thank you.
to the viewers, thanks for watching Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you, sir.